The last couple of days, I spoke to several experts who both seem to reach the same agreement that President Obama is getting played here by Vladimir Putin. What do you think?
Well, played by Vladimir Putin, played by the Russians, played by the Chinese, played by the North Koreans, played by the Iranians. So, yeah, I think the United States does bear a good bit of the blame because they've allowed themselves to get blamed and played. You know, the leading from behind strategy of President Obama, it's now starting to show dividends. We're being left behind and we're being pushed around. And they may be insignificant things like the Chinese couldn't find a staircase to bring up to the plane when President Obama landed in China. But they could be more significant things, like the Russians basically telling the United States, like, if you guys are in the way, we're going to bomb you. And no additional ability of the United States to have any leverage to calm them down.
In the fight against ISIS and trying to remove Bashar al-Assad in Syria, which, by the way, is President Obama's firm position, that's anathema to the Russians. Was there any hope of a deal here with them?
I don't think so. You know, look, we're deluding ourselves to thinking that we're players now in the Middle East. There are two sides left in the Middle East. One is the side that's Russia, Iran, and Assad. We're saying, no, Assad has to go. The second side is ISIS. Well, nobody's for them, right? But we're somehow this mythical third force where we want Assad to go, we want to defeat ISIS, but we're kind of standing there all by ourselves, stuck in the middle of this civil war. And we're really not in a position to play in the Middle East anymore. We've ceded that position to the Russians and to the Iranians. And the problems of the Middle East today are not going to be solved by President Obama or even Secretary Kerry or even potentially President Clinton sitting down and trying to talk to the Russians. The Russians are just running circles around the United States foreign policy at this point.